What's going on, everyone? Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well this evening. Good evening. Good evening. What's up, Mark? What's up, Vinny? Awesome. Awesome. So I think this will probably be a short scan tonight because I've kind of got when we did the clarity event, we kind of looked at some things from a watch list perspective. What's up, CDP? What's up, Matt? Straight balling. Is Ohtani worth 700 million? Man, I don't know. 70 million a year for someone that is a hitter that doesn't bring defense. I think it's an overpayment, but I think if you look at every single free agent contract that's been thrown out there, it's they're usually overpayments, right? Those guys cash in. It's funny, one of my good buddies that used to play professional baseball signed at the time it was the biggest contract with the team. His agent is Ohtani's agent, so I'm sure he's retiring off that contract for sure. I like Ohtani, but Tommy John, like I don't know if he's going to come back the same pitcher. So 700 million for a DH, it's a lot of money. What's up, Frank? What's going on, guys? All right, cool. So let's jump into it, guys. The one chart this week that I think is going to be absolutely massive is Tesla. That's why I'm starting here tonight. Tesla is the one chart that I really, really like. We can see this price consolidation here, guys. We see this is a setup that when Tesla moves, it really does like to move. And right now on Tesla, right, we've kind of been stuck in this daily range right in here, right? We've been kind of stuck in this amount of range right here, which is not a lot. So we kind of have a horizontal consolidation pattern setting up, kind of stuck between 232 and 250 really, with the majority of the days kind of being stuck in this area here, right? 244 to 232, very, very little range. But we're entering the apex of this, guys. And I think based on what the market's doing, everyone's asking, are we going up? Are we going down? It doesn't matter to me which one we go. I am kind of leaning bullish on Tesla based on what SPY's doing. Granted, I haven't looked at futures tonight to see where we're at, where they opened. But the Tesla setup, guys, is one that I'll be watching going into tomorrow. So how do we take a daily time frame chart that looks like this? We can go out to the weekly and we can see too, the weekly is getting very, very tight, right? And we've seen this happen before on Tesla. Excuse all my lines here, but you can see when Tesla consolidates on larger time frames, here's the weekly consolidation, and then we ripped on Tesla, right? We go from there all the way up here. We made a 50% move on Tesla on the weekly when we broke out of that consolidation. So we make another 50% move. I'm not sure, but if we do, right, I would expect Tesla probably to come back up here and test this 300 area, where we've got some big weekly resistance up here. If we get over 288, looking for that push into potentially going into 300. But Tesla on the weekly time frame, again, consolidation typically leads to range expansion on the weekly. We could even say the same thing here. We have horizontal consolidation on Tesla right here, where we traded sideways for a little while on the weekly. We dropped out of it and fell all the way down. Okay. So Tesla is just getting very, 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 very coiled. The daily time frame says it all as well. And then as we move into it as well, we can go down to the hourly and we can see, right, we're just getting very tight here on Tesla, waiting for a breakout. So I think 245 is going to be a big spot for us to break. Once we break 245 on the 5 minute, that's what I'll be looking for on Tesla to potentially try and trade it to the upside. That's what I'm kind of watching on Tesla. So that's my favorite chart for the week, guys. Like if there's one chart, one name that I like this week and one trade that if I can only take one trade this week, it's going to be on this Tesla chart. I think this is the type of name that when it moves really well. It is uncommon for Tesla not to move. And right now we're not moving very well on this name. So I think when this name starts to move, it's going to be a pretty big mover. And so that's what I'll be signaling this week. We're going to take Tesla, and I think it's going to be a trade that goes a few 100% for us. It's got all the right ingredients. I should say that. And with that being said, like I don't care if it's up or down. I hope it's up because I hope the market's hit all-time highs. But yeah, over 255 or sorry 245, I'd be looking for 252. Just trading the levels that that we give every morning at Alpine. It'll be on the pre-market watch list tomorrow, guys, along with some other names that we'll talk about tonight. But Tesla does look like it's close, and it looks like it's ready. Okay. Now I want to talk about another sector that's heating up, guys, or getting ready to break out, that I don't know if anyone else is looking at, but XLF, the financial sector ETF, right? Let's go to the daily time frame and see where we're at here. Right, we are flagging on the daily time frame, right? We're consolidating, flagging, consolidating, whatever you want to call it, right? But we're basically stuck here on XLF. We can't get up over this spot on the daily time frame from a daily close perspective at 36.18. The high we pushed here is 36, 29. But I'm looking to see if we can get a move up over 36.18, because if we do, I think XLF, probably breaks out in a big way, and then goes back up and probably retests, this area up in here at 36.59. So probably a 50 cent move up here. However, when we look at XLF, we can go into some of the banks, and we can look and see that these names are looking the exact same, right? So Bank of America looks very, very similar, right? We can't get up over this spot on Bank of America right here. We're kind of stuck, right? Multiple rejections here. When we get up over this, though, I'm looking for Bank of America to go up and grab 32.71. So going into tomorrow, I am going to be watching, right, over this key level, basically 31. If we get over 31, looking for Bank of America to make that move up. And again, when we go into the sectors, guys, it becomes very easy just to go down the line on all these names, right? Wells Fargo already broke out. So Wells Fargo had a breakout, and it popped up here. If we get over this spot on Wells Fargo, then we potentially have a chance to go get 48, right? But there's other names that are looking very, very similar, right? Citigroup, a little bit of consolidation here. It made a really nice move. We've got JP Morgan, right? We can look at JP Morgan's consolidating here as well. We can see we can't get up over this. When we get over 159, probably see a really nice move up on JP Morgan, at least up here into the 162 area. I feel like I had more levels on JP Morgan than that, but yeah, I mean, you can see here, right? When we break out over this, we've got room up 158, 158.91, 159 area. We have about a $3.68 move to the upside coming. AXP is another one we can look at. American Express, right? This one's got some inside bars on the daily. So if the financial sector goes, I think this one could be a really nice breakout trade from a consolidation perspective, right? What do we have on AXP? Right, we've got some consolidation setting up. So when we look here, right, we see this consolidation on the hourly time frame, right? We can draw these lines here. We can see this, right? But AXP does look like this is a name that is getting ready to break this wedge. This is one of my other favorite ones that I'm looking at. I was in a mentorship with a student over the weekend, and he was telling me that AXP was one that he was looking at, and it makes sense why, right? Because we're consolidating. If the financial sector breaks out, AXP probably sees a really nice move up, and we've got some really nice spots to play to the upside here. Just looking at these hourly levels, we can already tell, right? This is a big spot right here, and then over that, looking somewhere into that 174, 175 area on AXP. So that's kind of how I look at things. How I like to look at things, and how I build these watch lists. So Tesla is number one on my watch list this week, guys. XLF and financial sector names are going to be number two coming into the week, because I think this whole sector is getting ready to see a really, really nice move. And now what I want to talk about is growth names. So let's start with Bitcoin, right? Let's go to Bitcoin, see where Bitcoin's at. Wow, it's got a nice little sell there on the big sell right there, actually. So on the daily time frame, right, that's not a good looking candle right now. We'll have to see if we recover on that. It looks like it just kind of happened, though. Just kind of sold off a cliff there. But on the daily time frame, Bitcoin did break out in a big way, right? We had all these levels that we were playing to. On the weekly, same thing, right? We had all these spots we were playing up to, and the ultimate target that I was looking for on Bitcoin, was right here, right? Was in this 42 area. We got up over 42, went to 44. If we can get a candle close up here on the weekly over 46, I think you'll see Bitcoin go up and test 50, and then potentially back into the 60K area on Bitcoin. Just not sure if we're going to get it or not, but Bitcoin has made a really, really nice move. In the last few weeks, in Q4, we've had a really, really nice move. Honestly, all of 2023 has been a really nice move on Bitcoin. Like if we look at the yearly chart, right, we've had a pretty solid year on Bitcoin, right? Last year we were down 60% on Bitcoin. This year we're up 154%, right? So Bitcoin has done really, really well this year in 2023. And because of that, I think we're seeing a lot of the growth names do well along with it. So when I think of growth, guys, you guys know this already. Some of you that are new or that don't know this, what I look at is ARKK, right? I'm going to look at the ARKK ARK Innovation ETF because this name kind of gives me an idea of where all of the high beta growth names are at any given point, right? This is kind of the ETF that allows me to kind of gauge where everything's at and where we're potentially going here. So I think a move over 50 on ARKK is going to be accretive for a nice move up. Now, when we look at the weekly time frame, right, we have some resistance here on the weekly that we hit at this 50 spot, right? We rejected it 4 weeks in a row back in July and August. 4 rejections in a row on a weekly time frame at that 50 level. If we get over 50, I'll be looking for 52.20. If we get over that, then I think we could see a really, really nice spike up back into the 60s, back into the 70s potentially on ARKK. So with that, like, what are we looking for on ARKK? Well, the number one name on ARKK, or the highest weighted name within ARKK, is going to be Coin, which is why you always see me look at Bitcoin when I look at when I look at growth names, right? Because Bitcoin is a barometer, and you have to think of it like an investor, right? Typically, if you're going to put your money into a highly volatile asset class like a Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, you're probably going to put money into growth stocks as well. We talk about it all the time. We talk about money rotation, right? Money rotation out of one sector into another one. When money comes out of mega cap tech, where are they going to put it? Are they going to put it into industrials? Are they going to put it into consumer cyclicals? Are they going to put it into retail? Are they going to put it into growth? Right now, what we're seeing is a lot of money pouring into the growth sector in Q4, right? Led by Coinbase, led by Bitcoin. People are starting to become a little bit more risk on when it comes to to growth. Simply looking at Coin, guys. I mean, I said on Coin, weekly candle close over 106, Coin's going to go get 150, right? We're $2.14 away right now from getting that level. I think we're going to get 150, and then the next big spot is 158.80, what I'm looking for. But just on Coin and talking about Coin, how we're doing, right? Basically the Q4 move on Coin right now, we're basically, we've made a move about 107% in Q4. Right? Over 100% move on Coin now, which is crazy, right? Starting in Q4, going all the way back here, right? We could go all the way back to the beginning, right? Coin was down at $31 a share, right, at the beginning of the year, right? And now as we approach up, we're up, almost 300 and what are we up? 373% now since the beginning of the year on Coin. So massive rally for Coin bulls, and largely due to Bitcoin's performance being up 150% this year. The Bitcoin sympathy plays are going with it. So with Coin, I still like Coin, guys. I think this is still a name that on the daily time frame we haven't seen a sell candle. This was the indication of a sell candle right here, right? This shooting star candle, blow off top, whatever you want to call this, the spinning top candle. In an uptrend, when you see these big wicks right here, that what that's showing us, right, is that sellers are stepping in, sellers are taking control, and they're going to push us back down. Likewise, when we see hammer candles, right, when we're pushing down, that means that buyers are stepping in, are going to push us back up. When we saw this blow off top candle, I did wonder if this was going to be the local high on Coin, knowing, right, that it was a blow off top near that 150 psych level, and then we got a big red candle here. I was like, man, and then we gapped down. I was like, this might be the day, right? This might be this might have been the high on Coin, and we might fall all the way back down to 100 now. However, Coin and the entire market right now is in this buy the dip environment where it's like, it doesn't matter if we have one sell day. They're just buying the dip, right? Big sell here, buy the dip, right? Now we're right back here. We closed at 147.57. So we closed, 20 cents, away from where we were at after we dropped, right? In 2 days, we dropped like 13% on Coin in 2 days. And then we rebounded in a big way all the way back up here, brought all of it back up, 12.5%. So buy the dip market is kind of engaged right now, kind of in my opinion, is kind of that's kind of where we're at. So what I think is that right now I'm still risk on to the upside. I'm still going to be looking to trade upside. So Coin is one that I probably will be trading this week, guys. We get that 147.86 break. I'll be looking for the 150 psych level. If we get 150 psych, I think 158.80 is the next spot up on coin that I'll be watching. Okay. So now let's go into some other names because there's some other interesting growth names that I think make a ton of sense right now. Carvana is one, guys, that is consolidating in a massive way. And when Carvana consolidates, we see massive, massive moves, right? All we have to do is look left on our chart and go back here to August when Carvana did this exact same thing, right? When we consolidated at this level before, we had horizontal consolidation. What happened on Carvana, right? As soon as we broke consolidation, we went up, 26% in 5 days. Okay. Now, same thing's happening here, right? We're consolidating at the same level right here, almost identical, guys, right? Like almost identical. You can see here. Very, very similar. So when we break this, I'm going to be looking for 45, 48, then I'll be looking for 50, and then stretch target will be that 57 area on Carvana is what I'll be looking for, right? We got to the weekly time frame. Carvana, again, if we can get up over that 50 spot, Carvana might make a push. Technically, fundamentally, this is not a company that I would invest in long term. In my opinion, I don't think so. However, as a day trader, our goal is to just trade the premiums, and all we're looking to do is capitalize on premium movements, right? So on Carvana, I don't know what's going to happen, but what I can say is what happened last time, right? When we broke out over this level last time, we got a big move up to 57, broke out over this level here, got a big move up to 50, pulled back, and then eventually got that 57 level again, right? So are we going to do the same thing here? I don't know. But if history repeats itself, then yes, we will do the exact same thing. And as a trader, that's all I can go off of is what we've done historically. And that's what I'm going to try and do here. So now that we know that we're in horizontal consolidation on Carvana, right? What I'd like to do is go into the hourly time frame now and see what we have on the hourly, right? What do we have here from this perspective, right? We've got something that looks like this, right? And it's not the cleanest, but this is kind of the look, if you will, that I'm kind of seeing on Carvana. We can draw this however we want to draw, but we are consolidating on Carvana, right? We've got big range, getting tighter, getting tighter, getting tighter. If we break out, first stop is going to be 42, right? 42.11, this high here, and then 45.48. But Carvana looks really, really good. Looks like the potential we could take this week. And so it's going to be a top watch for me going into the week. Carvana is a top watch for me. I want to pause. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions so far on kind of like what I'm looking at? We've got Tesla, AXP, Carvana, 3 really, really, really good looking charts. We'll jump into the tech side here in a second. I just want to see if there's any questions first before I jump any further. All right, no questions. So let's go to tech. Let's start with SPY because, guys, I don't know if you know this, but SPY, the top weighted companies in SPY, I think I think Microsoft's actually the top weighted company in SPY right now, if I remember correctly. I want to make sure I'm right here. Tell you guys. Oh, sorry, no, it's Apple. Apple and then Microsoft second. I got the numbers confused. So Apple is 7.4% weight. Microsoft is 7.14%. I was reading that dyslexic backwards. But we've got Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and NVIDIA as the top 4 holdings in SPY, right? So when we look at SPY, we have to look at the tech sector as well because of, just because of that factor, right? And again, market is on buy the dip, right? I'm going to take off my levels here and just show you guys where we're at on SPY. New 52-week highs. If we go to the weekly time frame, right? Weekly, we're very, very close to all-time highs, right? All-time highs are at 467. We're currently sitting at 460.20. We closed at 460.60 in the after hour. So we even moved higher in the after hour session on Friday. Okay. One thing I'm going to tell you guys is that there's a lot of perma bears out there. There's a lot of perma bulls out there that are telling you guys we're going to go to 500, right? The best thing I can tell you is that, stay in your lane when it comes to that. Respect everyone's opinion. I respect everyone's opinion, but respectfully, their opinions on perma bull and perma bear are not going to help grow my account, right? Ultimately, what's going to help grow my account is if I stick to my system, I stick to my strategy, and I use confluence to make educated trading decisions based on price action, not based on what my bias is and what I think should happen or what could happen, based on what is actually happening day in and day out, right? And so for me on SPY right here, guys, I really see a situation where we do have a Santa rally and we do go get all-time highs going into the end of the year to close out the year. I think that's a very, very realistic probability. We're $7 away from it. This is an adjusted chart. Unadjusted, we're a little bit further, but adjusted chart, $7 away from this all-time high on the charts as it is right now. The thing that's interesting to me is that we haven't had a move like this on the weekly time frame with this many green candles since the last time we did push up near all-time highs, right? Like 6 weeks in a row of just straight bullish engulfing candles, right? We have not had something like this. I don't even think we had this during COVID market. We didn't. Look at the weekly candles here, guys. There are no weeks where we had 6 bullish candles in a row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we never got 6, right? We never got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, now we have 6, and these are 6 bullish candles. Every single candle here is bullish engulfing. What I mean by that is there's not a lot of wicks on these candles. They're all big engulfing candles to the upside. So this is huge right now, and I do see a world in which, you know, we've cleared this weekly resistance spot right here, right? If I were to put a level right here, guys, across my screen, see how we have you know, a little bit of resistance at this level here. We've got rejection here, here, rejection here, right? And we got 2 weekly candle closes above that 458 level, right? Well, what happened last time when we got a candle close above the 458 level? We made a push all the way up here to 467, right? Made that all-time high on the adjusted chart push, and then we sold down from it. So in my opinion, guys, I think we're going to go get all-time highs. That's what I think is going to happen. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to trade downside. It doesn't mean that that has to happen. Just knowing what has happened on the chart historically, I think the probability is in the favor for bulls to go get all-time highs on SPY. Okay, now when we look at QQQ, someone asked about NQ. QQQ, very similar, right? In the sense that we cleared this area here and we're very close to an all-time high push, right? 403 on QQQ on the adjusted chart is all-time highs. We closed in the after hour session at 392.48. So we're about $10 away from an all-time high, $11 away from an all-time high push on QQQ. And so I think, you know, again, assuming everything goes well and assuming that Apple goes and gets all-time highs, I think QQQ is going to do it as well going into the end of the year. So now let's take a look at the top weighted stocks within the S&P 500 or SPY and QQQ. Okay. Now Apple, very, very similar here, right? What do we have? We have three green candles in a row. This is kind of a doji candle here on the week of Thanksgiving, but we've got 3 green candles in a row. Excuse me. And this is a very, very bullish candle coming up to the all-time high on Apple, right? Last time we got an all-time high on Apple, what happened? We got a big shooting star candle and we never closed back up over it. And then we saw a big sell all the way back down, eventually falling all the way down from 197 down to 171 in about 4 weeks, right? Big move down. What's the difference this time? The difference this time is that we've broken the 195 resistance and we've got a big bullish engulfing candle. So as long as we see continuation into the week this week, I think Apple's going to go get that 200 spot, right? Now we see on Apple here, we had a very, very nice bull flag pattern on the daily time frame. We can see this bull flag pattern break here. We broke and we pushed upside, right? And so now, I do think if we get a daily candle close above 196, that's going to be all-time high push right there, guys. That'll be where I might swing contracts into the next day. We closed Friday at 195.71 and we closed in the after hours at 195.78. The highest daily candle close that we've had on Apple, 195.93. Okay. So if we break 195.93 on a daily candle close, or we break 196 on a daily candle close, I would expect that 197.70 is coming next because we haven't broken that level yet. What we did this week, this was the second highest daily candle close ever on Apple. That's how close we are to all-time highs. So again, probabilities in our favor that we probably see, an all-time high push on a name like Apple here. So going from Apple now, what I want to go to is let's go to Microsoft and take a look at Microsoft and see where we're at there. Okay. Now Microsoft is not as strong as Apple right now. But we still are up. Microsoft is, when we look at the weekly time frame, where's Microsoft at? Let me turn off the levels so we can see, right? It goes back to Microsoft's at the all-time highs, right? It's already made the all-time highs, whereas Apple hasn't yet. But what kind of market are we in again? We're in the buy the dip market, guys. We got a sell candle on the weekly time frame, and then they buy it right back up on this next weekly, right? On the daily time frame, we sell, get a big hammer candle. Why? Because buyers are in this buy the dip environment right now, right? And they buy the dip, and then we're pushing back up now. So Microsoft looks good. Looks like we have the potential on Microsoft to see, some type of nice move. We've got an hourly trend line here that we're putting in, right? We can see this trend line on the hourly time frame, kind of going right back up here. And so if we break out over 375, I think that's going to be a really nice move for us on Microsoft, right? And we can probably put it like this, make it a little bit tighter. Oops. Yeah, there's that key level. Somewhere in there is where I had that 375 something. 43. But you can see here, guys, like we've got a really nice, trend happening right now on the hourly time frame. Again, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and we're pushing up. And if we break 375, be looking for a big move on Microsoft, back up into that 380 area there. So really looking for that move to happen this week as well. Now on Nvidia, what do we have on the daily time frame? We got very, very similar, right? Similar to Microsoft. We've made all-time highs, we've dipped down, and they're buying the dip now. On the 1 hour time frame, this is what excites me on Nvidia, right? We've got a bull flag on the 1 hour time frame, right? Here's our bull flag. Maybe not a bull flag, but we've got consolidation on the hourly right here, right? We're stuck in range. There we go. We can do that. We could put we can put this on it too. However you want to look at it, guys. We had a big stick. Now we got consolidation. If we get another big stick out of this, then I'll be looking for 481 and then 490 to the upside on Nvidia. If we lose it to the downside, which is a possibility as well, we've got levels to play the downside too at 470 and then 464. Now, keep in mind, these are all setups. These are not like executing. We're looking at the hourly time from here. I want to give you guys the setups that I'm looking for. But Nvidia consolidation is one that really, really I'm interested in, because we know that when this name consolidates, right, we typically see a big move, and we can see it here. We see it on the 30-minute. We see this consolidation happening, right? So tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for a breakout over prior day high, over Friday's high, for a move up to 481. We break 481, I'll be looking for 487, 490 area. If we break downside, I've got a key level at 470. And if we break 470, then I'll be looking for the opening print from Friday, right, which is right near the key level of 464, 465 that I have. So either way, again, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to trade with the bias because I don't need to, because I've got levels to play the upside. I've got levels to play to the downside. Now, the last name that I want to talk about tonight, second to last name, is Amazon, right? What do we have on Amazon? Amazon is consolidating on the daily time frame, right? How do I know that it's consolidating on the daily time frame? Well, if I turn off my levels, I can see here what's going on with Amazon, right? We've got a move up, and now we're just consolidating, kind of trading sideways, waiting for a big move to happen. On the weekly time frame, what do we have, right? Kind of very similar. We're pushing up, and we're kind of trading sideways now. But what did we do? We broke out over a huge weekly pivot, and we've tested it 3 times now as support, right? If we were to put a level right here at 143, where we rejected here twice, right? We rejected this weekly level twice here at 143. We rejected it 3 times here. We rejected it 4 times here, 5 times right here. And then on the 5th time, we finally got over it. And then what happened? 1, 2, 3 retests of prior resistance now turns support. So where are we going on Amazon from here? Well, if we push up, 165 will be the next level on Amazon, and then over 165, looking for 185. So Amazon, really, 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 really like it. We've got some big consolidation happening here. If we go into the hourly time frame, we're going to see this consolidation as well. Right? If I turn off extended, zoom out just a little bit, turn my levels back on. What do we have on Amazon, right? We've got something that looks like this, which is a pretty tight consolidation pattern, right? So this is why I really like Amazon. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think if Apple goes and gets all-time highs, I think we could see a big move on Amazon. And this, Amazon being weighted in QQQ so heavily, being weighted in SPY so heavily, if Amazon breaks out, it's only going to be accretive to that all-time high push on QQQ and on SPY, with all the other names, seemingly trying to break out as well. But this consolidation pattern, really, really like it. And I say this all the time. I use this as an example, guys. But if you don't believe me that price consolidation patterns work, all you got to do is look at Costco's weekly time frame. This name consolidated for an entire year from April of 2022 to April of 23. We broke out on the weekly, and from breakout, we rose 30% on Costco, which is huge. Costco's not a name that moves when it moves, right? I showed you guys what happens on Tesla when Tesla breaks out of consolidation. That's Amazon is one that when it moves, it's going to move, and this could be a huge mover on the hourly time frame, right? On the daily time frame, we can see that consolidation as well. Starting big range here, we're getting tighter. We're nearing the apex. When the apex breaks, first target to the upside is going to be probably 150, and then over 150, we'll have to create some levels up here. I don't have them yet, but I'll create those and I'll drop those in Alpine for you guys this week. Probably have them tomorrow morning, right? Now, the last two names I don't want to talk about are Netflix and Meta. Okay. What do we have on Netflix? We've got a rounded top, right? Sellers stepped in really big at that 480 spot on Netflix. And now we're consolidating, right? We're consolidating right here. So what does consolidation look like on lower time frames, right? Something like this, right? Not a perfect consolidation pattern here, right? I don't think it's ready just yet. But what we do have is we have big range, and it's getting tighter and tighter as we're nearing this 455 spot, right? We're riding this trend up. If we break 455, I'll be looking for this first target up here at like 461. Then we could look for 466 and then 470. If we break downside, obviously we have 445.73, and then below that 432. But again, if growth names are going to go, if tech names are going to go, Netflix could be one that has a really big week this week to kind of get us back over this 455 spot back to 470, right? Because on the weekly time frame on Netflix, here's what we're kind of looking like. All right, we finally broke out of that spot, but what do we have here again? We've seen this time and time again, right? Break out of a weekly pattern here. We lost it. We lost the weekly spot here, right? We rejected it once, right? Pull it over here. We rejected it twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. And on the 7th time we tried it, we got up over it. What happened this week? We came down and we retested as support. So prior resistance becomes support. As long as we can hold that level on the weekly time frame at like 454 on the weekly or 453.82, I think we have a good shot here, right? We've got a good shot to make this case to push back up. And then if we break 481, I think we could see 500 on Netflix very soon. So that's the Netflix chart. And then the last one is going to be Meta. Meta is looking really good, and Meta has really been the story of 2023, guys. When we look at Meta and what this name's done, Meta and Nvidia kind of were the storybirds, right? So Meta, 204% move this year, absolutely crazy. If we go out to the yearly, turn off these levels, right? Here's Meta. What an absolute year, right? On the yearly time frame. Last year lost 64%. This year 176%, right? Almost a 200% move on Meta. We haven't seen candles like this in the history of Meta, right? We haven't seen a yearly candle where we got all of our gains back since Meta started trading back in 2012. Okay, so huge moves on Meta right now. And what I'm looking at on Meta is for a breakout in pattern, right? So here we go. Let's take a look here, see what we got. Meta, I think, might have already broken this pattern. And so what I'm going to look for is continuation. Oops, sorry. But we know when Meta consolidates, it moves really well, right? So let's just call this a horizontal or sorry, a trend line, right? 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 taps, break on the 4th one. And now Meta, I think, has a chance to run because on the daily time frame, right? Here it is again. We've broken on the daily, and when Meta breaks consolidation patterns, we typically see, a move up. So I like Meta. I think it makes a lot of sense. When we go down on the 15-minute, right? We saw we rejected here, came back down, grabbed our level, got up over this consolidation, or trend line pattern, and then started to push. So tomorrow, going into the week on Meta, obviously looking for upside, going to be looking to see if we break out over prior day high at 333.17. Big breakout spot for me is going to be 335.52 for a move back to 340 on Meta. So those are the names that I'm going to be watching, guys, this week. Hopefully that helps you guys, but I think there's a lot of good actionable names A lot of good setups that are basically coming to us. Um, so that's what I have for you guys tonight. Do you guys have any other charts you want to look at, or any questions that you have on the watch list? If not, I'll give you guys some time back. But that's what I'm looking for. Again, guys, it's I think we're gonna have a really good week. As long as we take the actionable setups, the A+ setups. Look, if you take A+ setups every time, guys, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to grow your account. In August, I think I took my account 480%. August, I was kind of locked in on all the A+ setups. We took the 2K account, 250% in less than 30 days. Um, you have to focus on taking these A+ setups, though. If you don't take A+, then you can't expect to grow your account. Yeah, IWM I think looks ready too, Vinny. This one's interesting because on the daily here too, like once we break out over this spot, this 186, 187 level, I think we see a pretty big move up into 188, 190. IWM is also one that when we think of growth, we think of Bitcoin, we think of ARKK, but you can also think of IWM, right? The Russell 2000, small caps. When speculative names start getting bought up, small caps start to run with them. So this chart makes a lot of sense. This candle still haunts me right here, by the way, where it had a 3% day. I I remember telling you guys I was like 179.50. That's the level. We break that. That's why I want to deploy zeros on IWM. These things went like 5,000% that day. I wish I was focused on another name and didn't see that. But going back to my point I made a few minutes ago, guys, A+ setups, preparation, like this is where you're gonna make your money in the market. What we're doing tonight, what we're doing right here. This is where you make all your money. You're preparing for what's happening. But yes, IWM, Vinny, for sure looks like it's ready to go. When we go to the weekly, right, and we turn off this, I would expect that IWM is going to come up here and tap this area because we're kind of trading in a channel on IWM, right? Bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, right? Reject here, reject here, reject here, right? If we keep trending up, I would look for us to hit this, 200 area, 196. We've been stuck, right? Basically, we've been stuck between 160 and 200, going all the way back to, June of last year, June of 2022. Right. So that's what I'll be watching on IWM, looking for that type of move. But yeah, you can see on the weekly time frame, this is a channel that we're stuck in here. And you can see what happens when we break these weekly channels, right? Channel, break it, get a big move up, back in channel, break it to the downside, big move down. Now we're trading in a channel again. So IWM definitely looks like it's ready to go. Roblox. What do we got on Roblox? Growth name, right? Yeah, Roblox looks really good here. Really, really good. We broke out of this pattern here, got a nice move, but now what I'd be looking for on Roblox is a daily move over this spot, right? We haven't gotten a daily candle close above 41.30 since July 19th of 2023. Okay, so this is what I'd be watching on Roblox is for another move over that level. And then basically if we break prior day high on Roblox, which is currently sitting at 42.28, then I'd be looking for that move up into that 46.25, 47 area on Roblox, but definitely looking like some consolidation happening. And for sure, it could be some type of move here to be had on Roblox for sure. Good chart there. Do I like V this week? Honestly, I haven't looked at V, but let's look at it because XLF, I mean, if the financial sector is going to go. All right, so for off the bat here, V is consolidating, right? 100%. I do like it now because I see it, right? I see this consolidation on the daily time frame. I can put this here. I could put this here, right? And what happens when V consolidates? Well, here we've seen it, right? We consolidate, we drop out, and V dropped here when we consolidated after we lost it. We fell all the way down like 6%, right? So this is a name that when it consolidates, it moves really well. So if we go into the 1 hour time frame now, turn off our extended, what are we getting on the 1 hour, right? Maybe something like this. This looks a little bit cleaner. And I can build it like that, right? So now we go back to the daily, right? We still got the consolidation, but now on the hourly, it's a little bit easier for us to trade it, right? Coming in here to the day. Okay, so now what we're gonna be looking for tomorrow is a breakout over like 255, 255.50, 256, or a breakdown of 255, right? Breakdown through 255, and we probably get a nice move down. But yes, this does look like a very, very nice setup from a consolidation perspective. And like I said, if XLF breaks out to the upside, this is probably a pretty easy trade to the upside. So 100% Carl. I think that one makes a lot of sense. Um, exactly, Fred. Goats out here. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Been at it for about 40 minutes. Walked through some sectors. We looked at tech. We looked at growth. We looked at financials. And I think we're gonna have a huge week this week. I feel it. Based on these setups, based on what's happening, we've seen these setups play out time and time again. I think if we take actionable setups, we're gonna be left with actionable results, guys. And it's gonna be huge. Like I said, there's a reason I was able to take the small account 2K to over 7K in 30 days. I didn't play as heavy as, I didn't play as aggressive as what I would have wanted to if I wanted to grow it to something crazy. But what I was trying to do was show you guys how important it is to be able to do that. And if you do that, you can take your account 100% a month. You can do it 200% a month, right? But you have to be willing to be disciplined enough to only take the actionable setups and don't take the less than A+ setups. Because when you take less than A+ setups, your win rate goes down, your mentality goes down, your morale goes down, your confidence goes down, right? So it's all about confidence, clarity, and consistency. That's the motto in 2024. And we can do that if we just take A+ setups day in and day out. So that's what I got for you guys. Appreciate everybody being on stream tonight. Let's have a great week. I'll post some of these charts out going into tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to trading this week. I think we're gonna have a huge week. So I'll see you guys over in Alpine. Gonna give signals out all week long and see if we can't make something like $10,000, $20,000 this week. We'll do something crazy going into the holiday. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Fred. I'll see you soon, man. And talk to you guys soon. Peace out.